Learn today's massive report surrounding Frenkie De Jong and Matthijs de Ligt, as it seems like the plan for next season is to reunite the former Ajax players together, as we are looking to outbid and outcompete Man United for De Jong's services, as well as coming in with a bigger and better offer now to compete against BAYERN for De Ligt. So we have a ton of things to break down and discuss today, my friends. Expect more content to be releasing today as well too, so please make sure you guys have those bell notification buttons on, hit the like button. Let's go over 3k likes again, and before I get into anything, I want to get one big plug out the way first. Today marks the day that our new home season kit for next season is officially launched and released. Right now, you guys, on the club's official megastore page, you can see all the kits are available in different sizes ranging from adults, women's, kids, and little kids as well too. Of course, I had to buy a few of these shirts already. I'm keeping an open mind. I'm gonna try it on first to see how I feel about things. Of course, like as time's gone on, the kit is slowly starting to warm up to me and look a little bit better, and the collar is not as bad as I originally thought. But of course, you guys, if you are planning on buying the new home season kit, then I am your guy. In the description below, you will find a link to the affiliate page. Click on that and use my discount code NINI10 to get 10% off your overall final order. So if you guys do use my affiliate link, let me know in the comment section by saying NINI10, and without wasting any more time. So now, let's start things off and let's discuss the latest updates involving Matthijs de Ligt. Bayern Munich, of course, they are trying to work on their charm offensive right now to entice De Jong to reject interest in us, to force Juventus to have to lower their demands to sell the player. Now, many reports in Germany have been stating that De Ligt ideally prefers Bayern Munich for their sporting values, integrity, etc, etc. However, of course, naturally with reports coming out from Germany, it's not as if they're not going to be personally biased in favour for their German clubs. The reality is though is that De Ligt very much favours a move to us, a move to the Premier League, and of course working under Thomas Tuchel as well too. At this point in time, Juventus are just waiting for better and more satisfying offers. We know that we presented an offer of around 70 million plus 10 million in add-ons. Bayern of course responded. Their offer was 75 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Both offers still don't come close to the valuation that Juventus want. Ideally, they want 80 mil up front, of course, so they can reinvest back into their team with some add-ons on top. Juventus will only sell De Ligt to the highest bidder. That's how they're doing business this window, and literally money will talk if you want to sign De Ligt in this window. Now, reports in Italy are already talking about the contract offer that we've potentially sent towards De Ligt, and it seems to be set at around 10 to 11 million pounds per season. A 5-year deal has been offered with an extension included in that offer. Well, of course, he can automatically extend his deal by an extra year. So in total, that's going to be around 6 years. For around 10 million a year, that is a lot of money. And I know I shouldn't be saying this because it's a thing in the past now, but the willingness to offer such high wages when we could have maybe presented better offers to Christensen and Rudiger, who, you know, are two very fine top-class defenders who probably would benefit more keeping instead of letting them go for free. But regardless, I do like some of the players we're looking at as replacements. And firstly, I think that if you are going to release Christensen, you're going to release Rudiger, you have to go for players that are younger and have incredible high potential. I think that must be our strategy. We're not at that level where we can, command players in their prime years to really sign for us unless, market circumstances work in our favour, like what we're seeing with Raheem Sterling. But still though, going back to the contract offer point, De Ligt hasn't accepted terms at this point in time. Of course, you're going to wait to find out all the proposals sent your way first before agreeing to anything, but you'd imagine that the contracts we're offering will most likely be the one in reality that he ends up accepting. So in terms of money, we have that, and that is our main advantage that we have over Bayern Munich, plus a lot of other smaller ones that we also possess as well too. Now, before I close the story off, we have got some big reports that just came in literally recently, saying that we are looking to respond back to Bayern Munich's offer with a new offer of 80 million plus add-ons on top of the deal, which, if that is the money that Juventus are originally hoping for, then we have to see. And it will come down to whether Bayern Munich can match the offer and present a better one. If they do, then naturally they'll be back in the driving seat. But the reality is, whoever offers the most amount of money, which is something we can do, will be signing the player. So currently it seems like De Ligt and Koundé could be the two favourite centre-backs being signed at this point in time. And I'll talk about Koundé in another video coming out later today. But right now, they are the De Ligt updates out the way. Let's focus on the massive news surrounding Frenkie De Jong. Earlier this afternoon, a massive report broke from Sport in Spain, where they reported that we are looking to outcompete Man United now to the signing of Frenkie De Jong, and the advantages that we possess is the fact that Barca want both Alonso and Azpi for Xavi's squad for next season. The plan is to try and involve both players in part of the deal to reduce the overall cost to sign De Jong, as well as offering more money up top as well too. Very big report, very interesting developments. I do want to say this though, you guys. The first time I mentioned Frenkie De Jong was during January at the start of this year. And at the time, there was real conversations between us and Barcelona over Pulisic and Frenkie De Jong, with Barca at the time showing interest in Pulisic. And our offer was, we would prefer Frenkie De Jong in exchange for the player. So there has been long-term interest in Frenkie for years now, with talks over the availability of the player starting back in January too. So I'm not surprised that we are looking to make a new offensive now for the player. But let's continue to break this story down and let's discuss all the little bits of information that add up to present the big picture. Starting with Marcos Alonso. He's hoping by the start of next week that he's in Camp Nou and he's playing for Barcelona. He does not want to take part in our preseason. He's already agreed a 3-year contract with Barcelona. The thing holding this deal up is that we want more money. Barca want to pay less than 10 million to sign the player up front, and the good thing is that at least the club are more receptive now to doing business, and who knows how we could find workarounds to release Alonso whilst getting the amount of money that we want to receive. We already know that he has that 11-year, 2-year contract offer from Barcelona. Of course, Tuchel ideally would prefer to keep him, but Azpi, it seems based on many reports, would prefer to move to Barcelona at this point in time. Again, Barca have to pay a transfer fee to sign the player, and we want more than 30 million for him. So going back to Frenkie De Jong, it just kind of makes sense, no? I mean, already throughout this window, we've already got kind of glimpses and insight that Todd Bowley is very much open to doing player swaps where they make sense and have the most context. And the reports from Sports state that an offer of 60 million euros plus Azpi and Alonso has been presented. I guess things naturally lead back to Manchester United. Of course, it makes sense to understand where they are currently over negotiations with De Jong. Now, technically, United have agreed to Barcelona's valuation. However, how they've agreed to that is completely different. Now, United have offered around 55 million plus add-ons, taking the fee to around that amount of money. The thing that makes Barcelona wary though is the fact that ideally they want more money up front. The clauses and bonuses play a big factor, of course, in boosting that valuation. And with Manchester United, you just can't trust that they can actually activate those clauses. And in the long run, you could be missing out on more money. If United don't get Champions League football, which could be very likely again for next season, then you'd imagine that you're missing out on a lot of money, as you'd probably guess that there are going to be Champions League clauses inserted in that deal. Now, our offer isn't too dissimilar from Manchester United's, other than the fact that we have 2 fullbacks that Barcelona want, and the fact that you know that we have the money and we have the funds. Now, reports state that Barcelona have heard our offer and they haven't rejected things at this point in time, so hopefully there could be something behind this. And there's even more reason for Barcelona to get rid of Frenkie De Jong, because they need to inject some more cash into the club right now, because they have to complete the Lewandowski deal. Bayern Munich are like, listen, we don't even think you're going to be around in 2 years' time. If you want our best player, you have to cough the money up front. We're not going to rely upon your promises that most likely in the future won't be met. It doesn't help too that Barcelona also owe Frenkie De Jong money. They owe him up to the tune of 17 million. And the reason behind why is that when he signed that original contract in which he signed for Barcelona with, there are lots of performance related clauses and, you know, certain clauses that will get activated as the seasons go on. Marca in Spain literally broke down the reports completely. Very good article. I'll give you guys some examples. One is that Frenkie De Jong would earn around 2 million extra if he was to remain at Barcelona and play at least 60% of overall games. There was also another 3 million extra for Barcelona winning a title, and of course Champions League progression as well too, plus many more. On top of this, his contract was naturally going to increase the wage value every year, and in the end, you know, due to Barcelona's financial issues, all the deferred payments that they've been making to players and the pay cuts that players have had to take as well too. So at this point in time, Barcelona just can't afford to keep Frenkie De Jong. And normally with windows, how it works is that, yeah, of course, the scouting guys and teams are, you know, looking at a ton of players every single season. But a lot of times when it comes down to the nitty gritty stuff, yeah, it's about looking at opportunities that present themselves and then taking advantage of them. Now, of course, I need to continue on by giving some thoughts and opinions. We have to remember this one rule for this window. In midfields, we can't sign any midfield players unless one leaves first. So today, there was a very small, interesting rumour report coming out from Italy over the future of Jorginho, with reports suggesting that Juventus may in fact be interested in signing the player right now. For me, it would make a lot of sense. We know that Jorginho has 1 year left on his deal. If I was Juventus, this is the best time to sign Jorginho for the best economic value. I think this is why the player could decide to leave. And maybe when his agent publicly said that Jorginho, of course, was ready to commit to Chelsea and sign a new deal, maybe that was going to have another effect of encouraging interested parties to make a move, because we know that normally clubs make moves to players in their final year and second year of their deals for the majority of the time. So for me, it would have to be Jorginho leaving first. And I do think that Frenkie De Jong would be an extremely interesting option. Now, reports to clarify that Thomas Tuchel has already spoken to the player to entice him to sign. There was previous reports when Tuchel was a manager at Paris Saint-Germain, where basically the agent was saying that Tuchel was in tears when Paris Saint-Germain weren't able to sign Frenkie De Jong and bring him to his team. And of course, you know, with the strategy being to reunite De Ligt and Frenkie De Jong together, that could have a lot of benefits. I mean, I saw the Ajax team. I saw the incredible benefits of them using Frenkie De Jong in the pivot role, of course, receiving deeper and receiving off the centre-backs, you know, with his ball progression abilities, weight of pass, and, you know, so many other factors to his game as well. You can see why Tuchel would want the player and why he suits his needs. But at the same time, I also can't help but feel like we have Kovacic, we have Ruben, we already have this profile of player. Is it not overkill to sign another one that does the same thing? I guess maybe Frenkie De Jong you could say is the upgrade to all of them. I think maybe in terms of like the final balls that are played, his goal threat is decent. I think it could definitely improve though, but he does have some goal threat. Of course, the close control, the ability to kickstart attacks from deep, and just like the overall quality and efficiency behind his play. I mean, the guy is a top player, and he can play in a 2 and he can play in a 3. Could we even see things next season where, let's say, for example, Kante DM, you've got Mount on the left and Frenkie De Jong on the right. You know, that's a midfield that has all the right qualities that balance each other out and make sense together as a team. I guess in the end, though, this window in particular is about signing players that will have long-term impacts. So, listen, if we don't win the league for next season, we have to think about the 23-24 season and the 24-25 season. You know, we need to sign players that add and build towards a plan now. And maybe you have to take advantage of De Jong in this window, knowing that next season, your midfield is going to continue to look quite different. With Todd Bowley now as a new owner, he was going to use this window as an opportunity to make statements. And I think that's what he's trying to do with the pace in which he's moving at, with some of the players and profiles we're looking at as well too. You know, we have to sign big name players to announce this new ownership of the club. So I've got some confidence that we are going to put off some pretty spectacular deals in this window. You can imagine that there's going to be even more videos on Frenkie De Jong coming in the future, and I'm going to express more of them, of course, because, you know, I don't want to say everything in one video, you guys. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'm the EFC. This is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.